I'd just finished making my second cup of coffee when my phone buzzed. The screen lit up with a name I hadn't seen in months. Ethan. Hey, can we talk privately? That was all it said. No emojis, no good morning, no hint of what it was about. I stared at the message, my gut tightening. Ethan was my best friend Caroline's only son. 22 years old, fresh out of college, and still figuring out life. I'd known him since he was a squirming bundle in a blue blanket, the kind of baby you could already tell would have a mischievous streak. Caroline had raised him mostly on her own. His father was around in a holiday dad kind of way, swooping in for birthdays and disappearing just as quickly. I'd been there for Ethan's milestones: first bike ride, high school graduation, his college send-off. So when he reached out to me instead of his mother, I knew it had to be something big. We arranged to meet at a little cafe just outside the city. It was one of those cozy places with brick walls, the smell of ground coffee beans, and indie music playing low in the background. I got there early, out of habit, and took a seat near the back where the booths gave you some privacy. Ethan arrived 15 minutes late, hood pulled low, hands stuffed into the pocket of his sweatshirt. He looked pale, his eyes shadowed with exhaustion. This wasn't just a bad day, this was a storm. He slid into the booth across from me. "Hey," I said gently. "Hey," he muttered, not quite meeting my eyes. The waitress came over and he ordered a black coffee. No food, no small talk. When she walked away, he blurted it out. "I messed up, and I don't know who else to talk to." I kept my voice calm. "What happened?" His knee bounced under the table. "I cheated on Mia, and she found out." It was like the words had weight, and speaking them made him sink deeper into the booth. I blinked, letting that settle. Mia, the girl he'd been with since high school, the one who'd been at every family barbecue, every holiday dinner. I'd seen the way they looked at each other, the way she laughed at his dumb jokes, the way he always saved the last bite of dessert for her. They were the couple people pointed to and said, "They'll make it." "What happened?" I asked again, softer this time. He swallowed hard. "How it happened. It started at work," he said, eyes fixed on the table. "There's this woman in my department, older, funny. She paid attention to me. At first it was just talking, joking around. Then one night we stayed late and she kissed me. I stayed silent, letting him fill the space. I told myself it was nothing, just a kiss, but it happened again. And then," his voice cracked, "I crossed the line. More than once." The guilt was etched into every line of his face. "I didn't even want her like that," he whispered. I just liked the way it felt, being wanted. And now I've ruined everything." "How did Mia find out?" I asked. He rubbed his hands over his face. "I was stupid. I didn't delete some texts. She saw them when I left my phone on the counter." "And what did she do?" "She told me to leave. She didn't yell, didn't cry, just told me to go. It's been 3 days. She's not answering my calls." I leaned back, studying him. He was looking for a way out, but there's no shortcut through betrayal. "Ethan," I said, "cheating isn't about sex. It's about trust. And trust is like glass. You can glue it back together, but it will never be the same." His jaw tightened. And here's the thing, you made a choice. Not once, but several times. You don't get to blame your job, or stress, or even her. This is on you. I know, he said, his voice small. No, I'm not sure you do. Because knowing means owning it completely. No excuses, no, but she wasn't giving me attention. You wanted something you shouldn't have, and you acted on it. He nodded, eyes glistening. Right now, you have to accept that Mia might never forgive you. You can apologize, you can explain, but you can't demand forgiveness. That's her right, not your entitlement. I took a slow sip of coffee before sharing something I rarely talk about. I've been where you are. Years ago, I was married, and I didn't cheat physically, but I let myself get emotionally attached to someone else. I shared things with her that I should have only shared with my spouse. And you know what? That was still betrayal. He looked at me, surprised. My marriage didn't survive it, I admitted. Not because my ex was cruel or unforgiving, but because some damage, once done, changes the foundation forever. Even if you rebuild, the cracks are always there. The choice. When our cups were empty and the rain outside had faded to a drizzle, I gave it to him straight. You've got two choices. One, fight for Mia's trust, knowing you might never win it back. Two, accept that it's over and work on becoming the kind of man who would never make this mistake again. He stared at the table. What if she never talks to me again? I said, then you learn, and you make damn sure the next woman you love never has to doubt you. A week later, I got another text. I told her everything, no excuses. I apologized. She said she needs time. That's the thing about infidelity. There's no neat bow to tie it up, no guaranteed redemption arc, just consequences and the slow and painful work of either rebuilding or moving on. For me, that conversation with Ethan was a reminder. People we love will make mistakes, sometimes huge ones. And when they do, our job isn't to excuse them, it's to hold up the mirror so they see the truth, even if it's ugly. Because wisdom isn't about making someone feel better in the moment. It's about helping them be better in the future.